Hey! I'm back with another review and I wonder what it could possibly be! If it's not already obvious what we'll be talking about today from my super cool Morgana hat, we'll be discussing Persona 5, which came out for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 April 4th, 2017. Another recent game. And for the record, I played it on PlayStation 4. Now before I start, I want to give you a bit of history between Persona and I. So my first Persona was Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, and fun fact, I didn't properly beat that game, I missed Consume the World, and that was the end. Still don't know what happened. Then I jumped into Persona 3 and I absolutely loved it. And now fast forward to Persona 5. Persona 5 takes off with action and grace as you're in mid-heist. The protagonist, or Joker, is about to make his grand escape, but is ambushed and taken into custody. You're then interrogated and forced to tell the tale of when your life started as a suave thief. A misunderstanding of you defending a woman who is being harassed. However, when authorities arrive, it looks as if you're the one causing the public disturbance, thus wrongly sent away on probation, and forever looked at as a criminal. From this point forward, you're playing through the events which led you to be ambushed and interrogated in the first place. It was actually quite clever how everything unfolded. It was fluid and well pieced together, telling a story of unjust and corrupt adults underhandedly ruling Japan. Meanwhile, psychotic breakdowns are happening all over the country. Of course, you're not alone in this fight. You're joined by other spirited scholars and a cat?
Now where's the exit, you monster cat?
Don't call me a cat. I am Morgana.
An important aspect to Persona to me are the characters, playable or those confidants who unknowingly help you on the side. They need to have an interesting story and personality to match, and Persona 5 was successful in doing that. Even if some of the characters were fucking annoying, you could find some redeeming qualities. Though some you had to look really hard for. And then we have the bad guys, and the order of which they were introduced was really frustrating, because they did an amazing job hyping up and painting the very first adversary in such a disgusting light. It was a tough act to follow. The other evildoers afterward, I didn't have the same outrage and burning desire to put them in their place. Not like the first guy, no way. So the bare minimum gameplay of Persona 5 is all about meeting deadlines and friendship. So in the real world, you come across some adult asshole with a distorted desire. This adult normally throws you and the party in a I'm going to have you expelled, captured, killed in X days situation. So before said day comes, you must use an app and enter and traverse between the real world and the metaverse, which is essentially the distorted world. In the metaverse, you enter the adult's palace, or a dungeon infested with shadows, which is basically a manifestation of suppressed psyche. The goal is to steal their treasure and cause a change of heart, which usually leads to the adult withdrawing their threat. As you infiltrate the palace, you must hone in on your stealth skills, or else if you're seen by the enemy, palace security will go up. If reached 100%, you'll be forced out of the palace, wasting a day. And as I'll soon explain, time is very precious. It is key to hide in the shadows and ambush the enemy as you'll get the first strike, rather than them ambushing you. Or simply sneak past them and avoid the altercation altogether. Along with adventuring through the palace all sneaky-like, there are a few puzzles and items which can easily be uncovered with the third eye, causing key items to glow. It's safe to say, if you're ever stuck in a palace, use the third eye and all will be revealed. Also, if things get a little intense in the palace, find a safe room, aka a save area. Also very convenient for fast traveling in palaces. Now after you successfully sniff out what appears to be the treasure, you must send a calling card to the real person. This informs the person that you're about to steal their heart, or their treasure, and they will confess their crimes. It is then you'll return to the palace and steal their heart, but don't expect a walk-in, walk-out situation. In addition to individual palaces, you'll also find yourself frequently in Mementos, which is everyone's palace. Mementos is where many side quests take place in order to take on small-time villains who don't yet have a palace of their own. Combat. Persona 5 is turn-based. As mentioned before, ambushing the opponent is key to getting the first attack and winning. The alternative is being ambushed and being attacked by the shadows first, or if you're seen but you attack first, it goes by whoever's speed is the highest. The best way to win is figuring out the weaknesses and hitting the weaknesses, causing the enemy to be knocked down, leaving them to be vulnerable to incoming attacks, and allows another turn. Careful though, you and your team can be knocked out as well, giving the enemies the chance to attack again. However, knocking down all the enemies gets you quite a few options. First is the all-out attack, where you and your party deal massive damage to the enemy. You could talk and ask them to lend you their power as a persona, but you'll have to convince them first.
Fine. Lie.
Finally, you could take money or ask them for an item in exchange for their life, which will effectively end the battle. What separates you from your party is you're the wild card, meaning you can equip different personas, unlike your team who's stuck with one with the same strengths and the same weaknesses throughout the entire game. Be mindful of which personas you equip, their strengths and their weaknesses all apply to you. Sometimes merely switching your persona mid-battle could save your life. Which is another thing to point out, if Joker gets KO'd, the game is over, even if the rest of your party lives. That rule is actually quite frustrating. Speaking more on personas, collecting as many as you can as you go through is great for executions, aka fusions. In every Persona game, there's a beautiful room known as the Velvet Room, where a long-nosed, hunchbacked old man awaits you, with a personal assistant or two. There you can execute a persona to make a stronger persona that can inherit the skills of the two executed personas. Plus, personas are paired with various arcanas, such as the Chariot or Lovers, which is also linked to your confidants. The higher ranking your confidant, the more experience your persona receives. What exactly is a confidant? Outside of the metaverse, you'll meet people who can create bonds with and overall help you become a better thief. By spending time with them and selecting the correct responses, you'll raise their arcana rank, which will allow you to gain more experience during executions with personas of that matching arcana. And you might get an extremely useful bonus skill that you or your teammates can use.
Let me handle this! Squeal like a pig!
Not only do you get bonuses that aid you in the metaverse, but you also uncover an interesting story about that character. In addition to strengthening your confidants, you'll want to raise your stats by reading or doing part-time jobs or crafting tools. Note, all of these take times, bringing you closer to your deadline. In truth, time is our worst enemy in these games. Another aspect I really enjoy about the confidants is their characters. Many confidants seem to have a gritty aspect about them. It subtly adds to Persona's overall shady criminal lifestyle. I think it's important to realize the small details of a game's story, tone, and atmosphere really do take it to the next level. Same with your team's personas, which are all based off notorious thieves from different cultures, whose struggles often parallel with their users. Now, one of my issues with Persona 5 is it constantly felt off balance to me. How I played this game was I pushed through the palaces as far as I could before I couldn't go any longer, whether it was me being low on SP or there was a barricade that could only be removed by returning to the real world. I finished the palaces as fast as I could, and with the remaining days I'd dig around in the real world, raising confidence and maximizing social stats. And to get my dungeon fix, I would only go to Momentous if I knew I could travel deeper. Otherwise, it felt like I was playing a straight social simulation game. And while I could have spaced out my palace infiltration, it takes a valuable time. When you enter a dungeon, it takes up the rest of your day and you're unable to do anything, so that means maxing out stats and social links. You have to take into consideration this game takes place in the course of a year, really less than, so be mindful. My point is the dungeon crawling and the social simulation ratio was totally off. Or some days were completely taken over by story plot, or you'd have this like beach filler section that was cute, but like damn it, I just want to raise my social links. Holy shit, the graphics and design, I have never seen so much style in a game before. This game was just so damn nice to look at. Persona is also traditionally known for switching from 3D models to animations, and the animated scenes are absolutely gorgeous. I also think they did a fantastic job selecting what scenes to animate versus what to keep 3D. Some settings called for a switch in style to better fit the mood. I really got nothing to add other than it just wowed me. Even the personas. 3v4 had a few good ones, but this one, all of them were fire. Except for Jonah? It's literally just a motorcycle with a face. I honestly can't believe this design got passed. Like, what the fuck, guys? Come on. Enemy and dungeon designs were beautiful. Sure, it does reuse some of the enemies in previous Persona games, or really, well, Shinigami Tensei. Note, I've never really played an original Shinigami Tensei game before, but they never looked this good. You could finally see some of your favorite personas, such as the throbbing King of Desire, in HD. Aw, yeah. Look how big and thick he is. Buddy. And the dungeons were super fun to sneak around. They did a great job creating an atmosphere suitable for a thief. Hidden cameras and sensors were excellently placed, used to make infiltration more than just hiding from enemies. The dungeon designs were appropriately crafted and made use of the player's stealth skills. The palaces that were manifested were locations where you would find professional thieves, and you never felt out of place. And speaking of skillful design, I have never played a game where I opened the menu just to look at how beautiful it was. Normally when you open up the menu, you're checking your equipment, your stats, your confidant ranks, never to look at art, smoothly transition to another piece of art. I shit you not, I have visited the menu just to see transitions and imagery. It was just that damn captivating. Even in the shop menu, it was just so damn beautiful. Even the transition scenes, whether you're on the train or walking into a new area, it kept the populated city theme alive. Our final segment is the music, and Persona, at least from what I've played, 3 and 4, has always had astonishing music. And 5 is certainly no exception. Nearly every track has some sort of sly, sneaky undertone with a side helping of suave. No matter what scene is playing, the music offers some sort of feeling of infiltration or upcoming infiltration, gathering intel, calculating plans of infiltration, the act itself, escaping, basking in the success of an invasion, or perhaps when the plan goes awry. There's multiple tracks that are fitting to each crucial step. Even when you're not in phantom mode, but you're just an everyday high schooler, the song Beneath the Mask plays, which is a low-key somber song, which is exactly what you're doing, just blending in until the time comes when you need to act.
I'm a sharpshooter at Ghost Masquerade.
And let's talk palace music. Each one has a unique theme to what the palace is and whose palace it is. And just like all the other tracks, it keeps the tone of thievery in mind. However, the same can't be said for boss themes, as most are the same. There's only a few bosses that had unique themes, and oddly, I just prefer the regular battle themes rather than the boss music, to be honest. Now, speaking of Persona music, one cannot not mention the mysterious and elegant keys played in the Velvet Room, the poem of everyone's souls. When you hear the first riff, you simply get chills as it establishes a unique and otherworldly presence. Another small thing I really appreciate about this game is when the characters were talking, the music lowered itself. Games, please take note of that. Okay, so I rambled on long enough. Let's talk about my favorites, and you're in for a double whammy because I got 2. The first one is the basic Life Will Change, which is a fan favorite that only plays the day you steal the treasure. It pumps you up, man, with the desire of genuine change in society, as the song is spewing uplifting and encouraging words as you head straight for the treasure. It was such a good feeling. Even when you knew the boss was coming, you were mentally, spiritually, physically ready to change the world. Track I have to give credit to is quite the opposite, as it's another low-key and super sketchy soundtrack. It's the Airsoft Gun Shop. The beginning is so unsettling, and then it blossoms into this grooving yet undercover jam. It's such a great song to vibe to, so enjoy Layer Cake. Out of 10. That's what I decided. It is a solid game, but the story is unbelievably predictable. What was funny and kind of sad was as the story progressed, I was constantly proven right time and time again. Don't get me wrong, I felt vindicated, but part of me wishes I experienced some shock value. Like, to me, the most shocking thing that happened in Persona 5 was when they dropped the F-bomb. I was like, whoa. Like, I wasn't expecting that. But out of a game like Persona that has some heavy subject matter at times, like, that's what I was most shocked at, like a curse word. I curse all the time on this channel, you guys know this. And there were times in the game where there were supposed to be some weighted, heartfelt moments. They all fell flat to me because I knew Persona wasn't going to go that dark. Don't get me wrong, Persona's dark, but you know when you have like 2 black shirts and one of them is like a different shade of black than the other one, like this was a lighter shade of black and this is the darker shade. Persona's the lighter shade. It's not to say the story that was told wasn't bad. It's just, to me, a crucial and a part of storytelling I really cherish is uncertainty and not knowing. You know, I don't like feeling in this kind of safe, like, oh, this won't happen to the main character, or there's no way this character can die. I don't like that, and that's kind of how I feel with Persona. That and the pacing of the game, you know, the mix of dungeon crawling and social simulation didn't blend very well. But guys, I hope that doesn't discourage you, because literally the voice acting, the characters, the atmosphere, the new gameplay mechanics, graphics, all of that is excellent. So I'm going to wrap it up here with a couple of questions. Did you guys like Persona 5? Do you agree with my comments? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts. And also, what is your favorite Persona? In terms of story, Persona 3 all day, every day. In terms of everything else, Persona 5. Another thing I want to address is when I played Nier Automata and I did my review, I said that this is my game of the year. I absolutely love it. I stand by it, but some of you guys were like, you haven't played Persona 5 yet. Well, guess what? I played it. Nier Automata, still game of the year 2017. And lastly, I know you guys noticed I hit 3,000 subscribers. I'm now at like 3,200 subscribers. And I know I said I would do a questionnaire video at 3,000 subscribers. So please put down in the comments below 2 questions you want to ask me. I'm going to pick the best ones. They don't have to be gaming related. I'm going to pick one of the 2 questions you ask so I can get more questions in. So that's going to be my next video, and I really look forward to what you guys are going to ask. Thank you all so much for watching. My top box is more reviews, and the bottom box is my Let's Play channel. Got new episodes of Snippa Clips, so be sure to check it. Love ya, appreciate ya, and I will see you in the next video. Alright guys, I'm going to be 100% with you right now. I have never dressed this level of weeb before, but I kind of like it. It's cute.